there we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you, seriously, for joining me again, for finding yourself here despite the difficulties in relationships and the relationships of the people we have relationships with, right? Where as soon as you start pulling on strings when it comes to the relationship, unfortunately, that person is also a center point, right? And even though you're pulling on this string, you think you're just pulling on one axis, but actually, there's like a bunch of other strings that are being moved due to your pulling of this relationship string as well, right? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Like, at least, maybe I could, at the very least, just bring it into our conscious mind and think about the fact that relationships are significantly more complicated than we give it credit for. And it is something we can very easily get lost within, right? Something we can end up feeling powerless, right? Because again, not only are you one of those nodes, and you pulling on this node pulls on all of their nodes, but as you pull on all of their nodes are attached to other people who have nodes attached to their relationships, right? So like your influence, your pull on what you think is just one string has impact that goes beyond even our imagination, literally, right? And that is just human relationships alone, right? Never mind even the multidimensionality, the extended future going forward, etc., etc. So yeah, thank you friends for joining me. I got some Durban poison. Finally, I feel like it's kind of sad, that I've been living in South Africa most of my life and never had my own local landrace strain. Right? I have like a small little baby nug, like this. Ooh, oh, geez, it smells amazing already. Just a little baby bit. Like it's a small little nug when you're like making sure your grinder teeth isn't holding onto any of the bits. I'm super excited to share this experience with you, friends. I've never tried this before, so it's going to be something we both get to experience together. Is Gateway here? Yes, she is. Bless you, Gateway. Thank you for joining us, for finding yourself here with us. I see Doug Dad and Joy Vive and Jovan. Blessings to all of you, dear friends. G'day, mateys. I'm gonna lurk. I'm only a graphic designer without the Rona. I'm the only graphic designer without the Rona. My hands be busy this week. Love is true. Sending you blessings, dear Joe. I'm sorry that you have to pick up the slack, but I know that you're such a strong person. And if anybody was able to, it would be you. Sending you lovins. Hey, toast. What a blessing, bro. Like, seriously, today especially, it's a blessing. I have right here crushed Durban poison. I've never tried it before. I am very excited to. Like childlike giddy, excited to. Like, I was legitimately giddily smiling, when I opened it and saw the way the buds looked. I already posted it on Discord to some of you friends who are curious, who want to see up close. You can go to Discord, the channel Lost in the Weeds, I believe. That little mini bud I crushed was exactly one little bowlful. How lucky am I? All right. And after that, we're going to roll ourselves a joint for the first time in a long time. The person who sent this to me sent me more than I bargained for. Literally. Like, literally, I bargained for a single gram and he sent me 4. It has some seeds in it as well, which now still makes me excited, right? Because this is like a very sativa-y type of bud. You want to see? I don't think I've ever seen a bud this sativai. You're like, what does that mean, Mel? Oh, this smells like. Imagine you squirted orange peel juice on a piece of dried fruit. You know those fruit roll ups? That's what it smells like. Like orange juice sprinkled on fruit roll up. It's pretty nice melon. It's citrus kush. This one at least is citrus kush. What's up, y'all? Bless again. Love, 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 love. Hey, Loizana. Yo, it's looking super green. Yeah, that you saw the bud like after it's crushed. Like it just looks so fresh. I guess still part of me wants to show you because I'm giddy about it, but you can go and check it out in the Discord. That's gonna be probably like the best way. I think it's still technically a low quality image, you know, because of the whole Discord compression, but it is what it is. You might have like a little bit of stand in your way. Hey Hoopy, blessings. How is Creton? Do let us know, Toast. How is the little one, bro? How are you dealing with the little one? Are you surviving? Is your beloved surviving? You haven't told us much about how she's dealing with it, man. What's it like for her being a mother? That's better, right? It really is shining brightly though, so it won't last that long with this much brightness. Love is true. Without further ado, I'm curious. From what I've read, it's supposed to have hints of black licorice, which is not something that I really particularly enjoy in my personal life. But yeah, especially on the third one. It's kind of chocolatey, weirdly enough. And the flavor changes so much as you keep getting deeper and deeper into the cycle. Love you, Toast. Now, like weirdly enough, I'm getting less black licorice and a lot more chocolate than anything. Okay, I think I've tried enough to have some sort of an opinion. It started off very fresh tasting, right? Like there's a certain peculiar taste that I've now noticed when it comes to like indoor, really fresh bud, right? It's like it just has that freshness taste, and it's not. It's almost like I think myrcene, you know, like high myrcene. You know, maybe like the myrcene evaporates instantaneously, so you get like this very fruity, almost like flavor. And then it transitioned slowly but surely away from that flavor to becoming more and more like chocolatey slash, you know, I guess I don't exactly know what black licorice is supposed to taste like necessarily, but you know that I don't know if you friends have that in America, but you have these like tins with like chocolate powder in it, right? And then you put that chocolate powder in like milk or something, and you can make yourself like a chocolate drink. If you've ever smelled that chocolate powder, the way it smells, that's what it tasted like at the end of it, which is pretty interesting. Haven't had like anything like that. Haven't had an experience like that just yet, and that's what it looks like afterwards. Doesn't look that bad. I mean, it looks worse because of the shadows, but nah. Man, yum. Yum indeed. Yum indeed. Like I'm tripping out about how that's even possible. Like that's the thing that my mind goes to. Where I'm like, I know that I just technically tried, some bud, but I tasted what I could only describe as powdered chocolate, right? And it's not bad. It's not like technically powdered chocolate sounds kind of cheap and you know unamusing or unappealing. But when you smoke something that's green that grew on a plant, right? It's not exactly the flavor profiles you would expect from something. Rabbit, little guy's blessed. He's getting so big. Is he aware yet? Right? Has he like spotted you and like does he make eye contact and does he smile when he sees you yet? Let us know when that starts happening, Toast, because apparently that's when the real mind melt actually kicks in. Louisiana banana nanner, toaster dado, toast dado, meow lao, salmon lamb jam. Jovan makes smile. She does. Hey Joe Schmo, blessings to you, bro. Like I know that this is excess. I know, but I feel, after yesterday's stream and all of the stuff that I'm still feeling about it, I need some I need some feminine guidance, let's say. Mary Jane. I'm inviting Citrus Kush over to visit. Mm, and I'll have some Citrus Kush seeds as well. Lucky lucky me. I don't know if I'll plant them anytime soon, but I like having options. For the first time in a week. For the first time in a week back. It still makes me cry when it happens. His face is lighting up everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love, bro, literally, right? Like the fact that he sees you and the fact that he sees and the amount of love that just pours from his being. That's the truth for all of us, right? It is. Like we should remember that all of us are still those babies, right? You're still baby. Sure, you're an adult right now, but you're still that, life coming into this existence, given the opportunity to form relationships. We haven't even started talking about today's stream topic. Silly songs of Larry, Melt, you require silliness. Yes, I need silly. Thank you for the. I'm writing that as my intention, Sam. I appreciate it. My pen is not working. That's pretty silly, bro. That's very silly of you, pen. That's funny, dude. Okay. No, thank you. So silly. I don't know why, but yeah. I don't know why, but the way I wrote it makes me feel like I wrote it incorrectly. I think that should be the way for me to show it to you. Let's be silly. A little bit silly, at least, right? Mild silliness activated. Am I going to crush the mid-sized bud? Are we gonna turn that into a joint? Yeah. Yeah, we are. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. We haven't rolled a joint on stream in like months, right? Like multiple months now. No, not yeah, 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 multiple months. Nice. Yeah, more than 3 months actually. That's a long time. So maybe this is going to be unique. And this is going to be my Garrick. A little piece of glass. I used to have one, and I would painstakingly and meticulously clean it over and over again. And then one day, one fateful day, I dropped it. And unfortunately, it did not survive that drop. It broke right in half. And I was looking for one for a long time, and I couldn't find them. Like, I used to have like a raw product one, but I think they stopped selling them in South Africa or something because no vendor had them available. And then I saw this one. And lucky us. I don't know how you friends feel about these things, but these little things make me so happy. Let me see if I can get better lighting on it. It's like little, those psychedelic shapes that people wear where it goes like, right? It looks like a teardrop, right? Weed basically just makes thousands of those, stacking them in crystals. You see that? So pretty. This is why I don't think I'll ever actually switch to concentrates and stuff like that. I get, I get it, I do. Right, you get way further and you get there way quicker than you would with bud. However, I have nowhere to go. I find myself infinitely in here. Parsley pattern, yeah, parsley, dude. Some cash parsley. I don't even know if I need to crush this whole bud. But I think before I actually light up the joint, I'm going to try vaping some of this bud as well to see what the difference is, right? Surely we have to. I hope I'm not breaking the seeds, if there's any. I feel so spazzy right now a little bit. Why do I feel so spazzy? You first did mention the anxiety that Durban poison can induce, right? That's what you mean? Okay. I identified it in my own consciousness and I turned off the alarm bells. I'm like, this is fine, dude. This is to be expected. And my mind goes, wait a second, we're supposed to feel this way? And I'm like, yeah, dude, chillax. It's not that big a deal. You'll be fine. Breathe. Breathe and continue. I'm just mining for sticks right now. How about those relationships we're having, huh? How about it? How let me actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me steer it back your way. How has your relationships been? Have they felt better this year? Something that I communicated with one of the beloved friends I've been talking to about how I've been feeling this very visceral and real sense of hope and giddiness and excitement from people for the new year, right? Like there's an enthusiasm to connect and to be loving towards one another that makes me look forward to this new year. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I have a limited data set, which is probably, very likely. However, I would like to hear from you. How has it been for you? Do you feel your relationships have been a little bit more light? Have they been easier to navigate? Like for instance, for me, and I think it might have something to do with me moving, but there's been very chillaxed energy at home, right? No fighting, no getting flamed, no being told off. Like there's a lot more consideration going around, which has been very nice. It's been very, very nice. And I don't know, again, I don't know if it's New Year's, if it's my own personal bias, if it's because I'm leaving, so there's that extra layer of, influence. So let me know. Let me know if things have been better for you, friends, as well. I got Tropical Run the other day. It's gold. I've been really liking the Run strains. They they taste good, like really good. Honey-esque is the one that I had recently. Such a blessing, man. New life, new little human group on and learning. Very, very cool. Bless. Thank you for blessing him. Exactly. When you grow another year older, you don't stop being the age you were before. You're just an extra age now. Exactly. And yet we get lost somehow along the line, Our relationship with one another changes depending on whatever that number is next to our age. For some reason, some inexplicable reason, something changes. And I guess that inexplicable reason is maybe like needs, how much you end up consuming, right? The amount of room you take, the spaces you create. Riveting content. Melt seeks out seeds. It's nice to say though. It's fun to say. I'm getting the little bits of broken seeds as well. My heart breaks. Sad little scenes that you got crushed. You're just extra age now, exactly again. It's one of them words that stops looking like a word the longer you fixate on it. Silly, huh? It is kind of silly. Like straight up, I had like a very real sense of like, that looks wrong. Did I? No, that's that's right. A beautiful typo that made me smile. Maybe Crouton's new extra nickname could be Groupon. Someone has come again, my friend. Morning has come again. This is true. Another day for us to show up for love, right? Anxiety. Now we ran out. Maybe run to the gas station, yo. Yeah, I don't think it's exactly anxiety. It's just me being aware of my own inner experience, right? And being like, like it's a different experience than the ones I'm used to. Usually my experiences can be a little bit more dopamine heavy, where it's like it's exciting. It creates a sense of euphoria, maybe it could be, an articulation thereof. This one, however, is more contemplative, right? Like, yes. Mm. Intrustry. My last intimacy was more seasons back than I care to count. Yeah, that's why I don't count. Oh. Because when you start counting, that's when it starts getting a little bit sad, bro. If I relate though, man, I feel you. Sending you blessings. There is hope for us, right? Intimacy awaits us somewhere in the future. All we have to do is be loving towards ourselves right now, because that's where we are, right? Thank you, love you. You're so great. Right? This is all the intimacy I need right now. Mel, my word of the year last year was connection. This year, I've decided it's communication. First, we need to make a connection, and then we communicate, right? So I do like that actually, Lawazana. That looks beautiful. As a intention, a resolution, a word of year. Yeah, word of year, communication. There's a bunch of things attached to it as well, right? Where communicate. My mom has this thing that she says where she goes, and this is, I'll PG it, miscommunication is the mother of all mess ups, right? That's one thing. So miscommunication is the mother of all mess ups. So by clearly communicating, right, letting ourselves be heard, we actually mitigate a little bit of that. And then John's mom, right? And this is Afrikaans one, so I don't know if it's going to translate that well. But our word for for communication is kommunikasie. Right? Ek en jy het bietjie kommunikasie tussen mekaar nodig. Right? Me and you need some communication between one another. It sounds kind of threatening when you say it like that. It's like sounds like shit, bro. What did I do wrong? So another way to then articulate that, or the way that she articulates that, is communiceer. Communicatie is the full word. Communiceer is like communicate, right? Communiceer. Praat, talk to me. And then it goes communiceer of communicak. Communiceer is like just a word, communicate. And then communicak, com and the kak, communicak, communiceer. Communicak literally directly translates to get in trouble, but get in the shit, right? Yeah. So I don't know if that translates. It just made me laugh when I heard John said that. I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Communicate or lose out. No. Communication is getting easier, knowing what needs to be expressed before issues can evolve. That's true. I feel like people, hopefully, are taking themselves a little bit more seriously. This year. It doesn't taste that much, right? Like you get the idea. You get more of the idea the second time around. Yeah. The closest thing I can give you to a description is imagine a pale looking orange flavored candy. That's what it tasted like. But specifically pale looking, right? It's not a vibrant looking orange candy. It's a pale looking one, right? And the flavor profile you expect from that candy. That's what it tasted like. Okay, there we go. I have a bad habit of disappearing. I think it's a reaction to feeling like I overwhelm people with my enthusiasm and or trauma dumping or just talking too damn much. And I get super embarrassed and disappear. Yeah, me too. How about that? I also do that, Lausanna. But I kind of like see it as like surfing. Instead of like disappearing, I see it of like surfing, right? Where the communication, the relationship is the surfing part. It's like it's rough. I have to balance. I have to keep composure. I have to see this torrent of information coming over me, and I have to navigate to try and get to the other side of whatever it is I'm in right now, right? Conversation, situation, etc., etc. And then after being, surfed up, you want to go and chill on the beach a little bit, right? And that for me is the running away for me in my life, right? For me, the chilling on the beach is sitting in front of my computer and switching my output off, right? That's basically what I do. I still generate information and I still consider and I still feel, but I have no expectation to output anything, right? I don't have to control my face. I don't have to keep my body in a certain way. I don't have to anything, right? And that I am disappearing, but then I have to bring myself back, right, to connect into the relationships again. Because even though I find value, I find comfort, solace in that disappearing, in that sitting next to the beach and watching the waves a little bit, right, from afar, instead of being in the waves, right, just chilling from afar and watching the waves. I still see that as a part of the beauty. However, the relationship is still the waves, right? And even if you're going to be far away from it, you should still be aware. You should still be paying attention to the waves. You should still be looking at the beach, right? Am I hitting notes? I hope so. I'm feeling it at least. Come back for your relationships, right? And if they're broken right now, then start rebuilding, right? It's only you who can start rebuilding the relationships that you've hurt or that you've lost. Lausanna, do you feel like you do that in this space? Uh, well, I only get 200 characters, so only a little bit. But I think on Discord, I do that some. You are loved, Lausanna. Like when I think about our space and the people that choose to join that, you're there alongside us, right? Contributing the beauty that is your person. I think me and your son would, get along. I hope, maybe not even. Maybe not, maybe we wouldn't, but I would like to have some chats with your son one day as well. Let us roll ourselves the first joint that we have smoked in a long time. This is definitely silly. 100% silliness activated. When I say I want to, well, I just want to say you don't need to disappear in our melt spaces. We are here for each other, and it's a beautiful thing. Your friends do have like a certain level of, what's the exact word that I'm looking for? Standards. That's the word I'm looking for. Your friends have a certain level of standard that you expect, and I honestly believe that it's a function of love is true, right? That is our standard. Our standard is love. Love? Yeah, good. No love? No good. It's not bad. No but love, yeah. Good love. This thing feels pretty chunky. There we go. Our silly joint has been rolled. How do I tap this down with the glass though? I guess this should work. And in real life, and especially with dear old friends and cousins that live far away and I see rarely. It takes time with those though. It takes time, right? Unfortunately, with those experiences where we see these beloved family members so rarely, right? Like we might end up only getting to see them for like an afternoon or for a day or maybe only for two. It takes time. It takes time to kind of like reestablish and re-remember the relationship that you had, and like to give yourself some room to readjust to where you're going to go next. I've had that experience at least, recently now with like our Christmas. Like the first day we were there, everybody was a little bit, who are these people? And then by the second day, that uncomfortableness, that wanting to disappear, disappeared. And then it was a little bit easier to connect with people. I still took time to disappear every now and then, a little bit, right? Existential crisis, a little bit, or whatever. But then we come back to our relationships. The surfing. I really like the surfing analogy. I don't even surf. I do look like I would be someone who surfs, right? Totally, bruh. I'm gonna go and rip some and then and just kadoosh, and then you go, and then you. I would love doing that. I could totally do that. You are also thoughtful, and you are so loved. Thank you for letting our friends know that you see them as well, right? That you generate the experience of love in other people's hearts. And that's the power of relationships. That's the power that you have as, a person who is a part of these relationships. So it's a high responsibility, extremely so. Like really high responsibility. And I feel unfortunately we don't really realize how high stakes it is, right? Because we don't see ourselves as that valuable, unfortunately. Okay. I think that is enough. I don't need to do more than that. This is already going to be too much. We have bats going to be like, duh, bah, please, mercy, bat. The silliness, Peppy is being like, are you being silly right now? I am, Peppy. I'm being such a silly Billy. She's like, bruh, that was only the start, though. There shall be more. There shall be more pets, don't you know? Don't you know? I am the one who says when you stop. Okay, I'm done, I guess. That looked at her pretending. Oh, yes. I'm going to pretend for a bit that I don't want to turn around and nudge your hand to tell me to give you more attention. I love her so freaking much. Okay. All right. Haircut? Nay. Nay, no haircut. Not just yet. Maybe. Like, I have been thinking about it, actually, again, Jules. I have been thinking about it. Melt with a haircut. Suddenly, all of this gone. Suddenly, all of this close to my head. All right. I wouldn't change that much, realistically speaking. Think I'm miscommunicating right now. Let me catch up the comments. Nee, I talk too much and I feel I don't make much sense, but usually only after I have already put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, I have made peace with not being understood by people as well, for what it's worth. Joshua. Sometimes we have to make peace with it. There's no other way around it. No, no. For the space. There's just so much love in chat right now. I feel like I'm getting lost in the waves. Joe, sometimes people say they're afraid of stepping on my toes. I tell them I have no toes. For you, I would say you have no feet. You have no feet, bro, to put in your mouth, though. Chillax. Spire can shut up and start annoying myself and feel like others are annoyed. Yeah, I feel like again, maybe this is like a way for us to get, kind of like around or to approach today's stream topic from a different angle. Is that not only do we have a relationship with people, right? Surely. Oh, we're dumb, Melt. Yeah, look, we can bear with me. Not only do we have a relationship with people, but we have a relationship with ourselves. And that relationship with ourselves intricately, I believe, influences the relationships we have with other people. And you're like, yeah, checks out, Mel. Okay. And now I want to go a layer further, especially with what we just shared about the way we feel when we are expressing into our community, into a group, how other people perceive us. So we are like inadvertently hurting ourselves by not almost assuming that people love us, right? And you might be wrong, and this is the other part of it, because I fully acknowledge that you might actually be wrong. People might actually not love you in that moment. They might think, "Shut the hell up! I don't want to hear this right now." Right? That might also be true. However, when you convince yourself and when you live into the truth of love, right, that these people do love me, right, and technically that truth doesn't cease to be. They might just be a little bit irritated. They might be dealing with their own BS. They might have their own relationship issues outside of that, friend group relationship that they're busy with right now, right? So love remains true. They still love you, but they might just not have the energy for that moment. So by assuming that these people love you, by assuming that, by that love, you will be afforded the luxury of maybe even sometimes putting your foot in your mouth and still being appreciated and accepted, you make your life easier. You make your life more loving, literally. All right. And nobody can take that away from you, because it is something that you almost like take for yourself, right? It's kind of selfish. But the alternative is guilt or shame or feeling like less than. That's no way to live either, is it? Mm. No, 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 no. Yesterday was a rough day, but you were there. Thank you for being with me in that moment. It really, really helped. Love is true, right? Love is true, Joe. Love is true, bro. Don't worry, man. Like, really rare. I guess we've all met that one guy that just corners you at a party and wouldn't go away. But apart from that, I just like knowing what people are passionate about. We've all. Let me just read that message again. Let me. My eyes. I guess we've all met that one guy that just corners you at a party and won't go away. Yeah, all of your friends have. It's me. I'm that guy. Oh goodness, I'm that guy. I go away eventually. I also reach a point of saturation. I do feel I've gotten better at reading social cues, right? Like I'll watch your face like a hawk, right? And I'll watch your body language, and I'll watch the amount of level of fidget you with your hands. Like I pay, like I don't know if it's appropriate to pay as much attention as I do sometimes, right? Like it's kind of invasive. So I can pick up on cues real quick, but I'm like, oh, okay, this conversation, this relationship, this web of relationship has reached its point of saturation, and I need to find myself somewhere else right now. And then I disappear, right? So I guess it's balance. Maybe we disappeared to create balance. I'm off. See you guys. Bless you, Hoopy. We'll see you again on the other side. It was good. I was able to share that moment with you. I feel honored, and I'm still sending good vibes your way. Like I don't have to know, right? Like all I know is like, and you can see it, right? If you're paying attention, there was a relationship fiber made by Kristen and Joe Schmo, right? Yesterday, Joe Schmo was just gushing with love, sharing the fractal as it was coming through him, right? And unfortunately, the amount of depth that is happening in Joe Schmo's experience and the amount of connections that were being made, right? And his attempt to share those connections with us in chat will always fall short. And unfortunately, our egos will automatically spot that and be like, this is not the full depth of all I am, right? But I want to share the full depth of all I am, right? That's the truth in Joe Schmo's heart. And then we finished the stream probably, and Kristen and Joe Schmo connected on Discord or wherever, right? And there was a conversation had echoing the love and appreciation we have for each other and for the way we choose to express in this world. Maybe the exact conversation I'm having, guessing right now, was had. I wouldn't even be surprised because this is the value of relationships, right? And now because of that extra little line, that value, that strength, that connection that was made through communication by two people, it strengthens all of us, right? It strengthens the whole web of connection, right? Because it creates structure. My mouth doesn't always do what my spirit wants to, bro. My mouth likes eating shit, dude. I don't know if my spirit likes that, honestly speaking, right? I wonder about it sometimes. Does my spirit like eating things, right? Does it? Does it like eating stuff? Did I come to this planet to eat, in part, stuff? Is that shallow? I ask myself these questions. Just holding onto this joint, so scared to light it because I know it's gonna come from me. Oh, it's coming from me. Man, I'm far behind. I'm scrolling back. Okay. Like really rare, like really rare. Like I think I've already read that comment. I have. Good vibes your way. Mel, like your mom's quote, I wrote it down. Another thing we say over here is never assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. Yes, I actually wrote that exact line when we were having this dialogue of communicatie of communicac. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and miscommunication is the mother of all mess ups. Lausanna, I feel my longing for validation or for someone to tell me it's okay. Once I've been vocal or expressed myself more than my usual, these painful silences where my mind likes to fill the empty space with unanswerable questions. The fear of being misunderstood. It's something I want to work on too, but we're always growing. That's very beautiful, Joe. Exactly that. I feel like there's a certain level of relationship building that's happening here right now, right? Because that's kind of like the relationship I have with all of you friends. And some of you friends, literally, statistically, thousands of you friends have just gone radio silence. All right? Just dead silence. And then my mind longing for validation as well. Scared that I was. Not even fear of being misunderstood, but it's official, right? Like that's the reason those people are no longer here, is because I was actually misunderstood. Guess our whole life is gonna be a work in progress on that fractal. I'm looking forward to it though, right? Like what better can we do with our time than become more loving, more kind, more considerate, more capable human beings that can form relationships and grow with them. You friends have grown so much alongside me. It makes me so happy. We just take so much responsibility for the accuracy of our words and like 200 characters, but also the limited time we have IRL. So many different relationships, right? Like I love how I'm just, and I don't know if I always do that. I probably do, right? Like as soon as I establish a stream topic, it's almost like it's, I'm seeking synchronicities. I'm looking for the exact things you friends are saying and how that web like connects to this topic that we're trying to, understand a little more fully. Serves me well since I'm a too long didn't read girl IRL. Me too, actually. Right? Like if I see a long ass piece of text, I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom to see if there's a TLDR. And if there's not, I'll read the first two paragraphs to see if I'm really gripped by it. Otherwise I'm finding myself somewhere else. Oh, so much love. I wish you talked more. Yeah. Encourage her. Bless. Yes, Jovan, we do take a lot of responsibility for the accuracy of our words. I spend more time trying to explain and clarify than I do talking about the original thing. Like Mel's mom. I don't want to miscommunicate. maybe one way to mitigate that, and this is me trying to give advice to someone who is so much wiser than I am, and I know that, Louisiana, and this is just me spitballing, right? But maybe one way to help that feeling of maybe I'll miscommunicate, right? Like you'll say something and then you'll spend time trying to explain, right? Maybe do the opposite, right? Prepare the person. Give them like a writer, a bit of pretext. Be like, hey person, we are going to now start this dialogue. My intention is this. With this in mind, communication. That's what I've been trying to do. And it's been working, right? Because then the person, like, and I think of it from a perspective of like, all of us assume a lot, unfortunately, at this point in our existence, right? And by just straight up, and I think this is like the autistic part in myself, almost like coming to fruition a little bit, being utilized for good. It needs clear communication. It needs to be told exactly how it is, right? How it feels right now, and from that moment forward, it helps to move in a positive direction. Feels a little bit more clear, right? None of us have to feel stupid. I feel like that feeling alone can also make us not communicate, make us shut down. You would rather be quiet than let other people think, we're not as smart as we actually are. Rabbit, a good portion of the population here, I believe so. Bunch of scatterbrained people. Oh yeah. I haven't been able to concentrate long enough to get myself help, Lois. So I don't know for sure, but I have a suspicion. Sweet scatterbrained people. Yeah, scatterbrained, ADHD. There's a bunch of different words to say it. I think of it as multidimensional. Right? You literally have relationships with so many things at the same time that it's hard to keep track of all of it. And you get like, oh no, I'm on this line of thinking on the web of infinity, and now I'm on this line, and now I'm on this line. But you're also intricately aware that every single one of those lines is attached to another infinitely sprawling web of, lines that go in every other direction. That's the way I think of it. So I think of it as like a superpower. I would rather be scatterbrained than not. At least if I could choose. I think we did, in part at the very least. It's so good to meet people who can say, oh, me too. Love is true, right? Cheers to long-winded. I always love the conversations I would have with people who send novel texts. Yeah, text walls. That's the way I would articulate my messages as well. We have no responsibility or control for how others perceive us. We have some responsibility. We have no control. That's true. But there is some responsibility, right? Like if I, from tomorrow on forward, instead of sitting down dressed and stream, you know, got undressed and ran around naked, doing like breaststroke in the dirt right? Like I'm gonna bear some responsibility with how you see me. Sure, I'll have no control over that. And technically, I also, by not doing that, would control you not seeing me that way. But I do believe we have some responsibility of how people see us. We love you too, Jovan. I send novels, but in single sentence increments. That is very much annoying if you have sound turned on your phone. I also do that. And that's why I do not have sound turned on my phone. I only have vibrations. Sweet vibrations. I'll get over these self conscious issues. It's going to be a lifelong process, right? And I do believe that's a part of our conscious evolution as well. We're here to support you, Merk. You were loved. You were appreciated in this space, dear friend. Joy, Vive, I know that's true in my head, but when I feel like, oh crap, I was way too much, then my instinct is to be way less and disappear. Yeah. I feel like so many fractals are being shared right now. Self-conscious. Maybe I should just give us space, right? Maybe I shouldn't. If I feel the real need to, I will, but maybe I shouldn't even say more. Self-conscious always brings up consciousness of self when I think of it. Yeah. Right, JV. When others think of us, it's none of our business. That one I like. That one I believe more, right? I think that one is better than it's not our responsibility or it's out of our control. I just think it's none of our business. That's what I believe, seriously. What other people think of you is none of your business. It shouldn't matter to you because there's nothing you can do about it. And if it's bad, there's nothing you can do about something that's bad, right? Which in and of itself feels bad. Hey, Cable. It's nice seeing you, bro. I've been holding on to this bat, fearing for my life, dude, this whole time. I guess I should commit, right, to silliness. I don't feel this stream has been very silly. I feel like we've been making some progress, consciously evolving. Cheers to you, friend. That's not nice, yo. Not the weed, just the smoke. I'm not used to that. Woo! That's a lot. Yeah, this is very silly of me to do. Very silly indeed. Okay, there's new layers of silliness kicking in. Bro. I used to do this every day. I'm happy to say that I've formed a better relationship with myself in the meanwhile. Woo! Woo, that's so much. That's a lot, yo. Okay. Presence. Relationship building. Despite the fact that you are super blazed right now. My mouth doesn't always do what my spirit wants it to. For example, Melt wants to live and lead in love. If others see what he does and feels as evil, he has no control, no responsibility for others' thought about him. Let me read that again because I didn't understand it. Melt wants to live and lead in love. Absolutely. If others see what he does and feels that as evil, he has no control, no responsibility for what others' thoughts about him. Yeah, I do believe this as well. And thank you for saying that, Joy. I feel like right now, especially, I've been aware of that ability to not take responsibility in that way. right? Because I've done nothing but show up lovingly. And I can say that with confidence, right? Like, and if that's not the truth, please do call me out. You friends, literally, there's more eyes on me than that I technically want to be consciously aware of. So call me out if I'm fucking up. I need you friends to do that as well. That is a part of the relationship we have with one another, right? And it is uncomfortable part of relationships, but if you're in a good relationship with someone, you should be able to call people out if there is missteps. Melt is a non-smoky now. I'm vaping these days, bro. I'm vaping. I bought myself one of these. You heat up this little cap, you pull through it, the air gets superheated, passes through your bud, takes with it all of the good stuff, leaves behind all of the plant material, all of the carcinogens that I am technically inhaling right now. And I'm aware of it. And I realize it's a silly thing to do. So silly. Inhaling carcinogens. So silly. And yet, I understand that there are other things in the carcinogens amongst them, right? Maybe there's something in there about all bad and all good and the balance and the sacrifices we have to make. Right? I'll just say that. You can feel that for yourself. Oh, goodness. I have thoughts. I can speak, but my face gets confused. Your face? Do you speak angry? My dad does that as well sometimes. I don't know if you do that, but my dad will look really fucking pissed off, bro, having a conversation with you. And you'll be like, bro, what did I do? Oh, you look like I, salted your lens. Please relax. Joy Vive, I guess my thought is I can't control how I am perceived, but it pains me if I'm thought of as anything but kind and loving and compassionate. If someone doesn't perceive that, then I feel like I botched it somewhere along the line. Well, for what it's worth, Kristen, when I think about you, all I think of is someone who is loving, kind, and compassionate. Right? And this is not me embellishing. Like, when I think of you, I have this image of you with this like giddy smile, like almost like you just started like laughing, like that like smile on your face. You were so loved, right? Like the way I see you in the world is as this loving wife to a husband that you support, in his fractal, a loving supporter of me and my art, someone who has an intention to help the world instead of breaking it down. Like it's very hard to fake that. You were seen, Kristen, and so loved. You you were walking the path, right? For what it's worth, from my perspective, uh, you haven't taken any missteps. You haven't botched it anywhere. I'll TKE this moment. Remember this moment? Thank you all for not booting me out of here a long time ago. I just get overwhelmed with the amount of live here and get inspired to share my swirling thoughts. Brother Bear, you are loved and appreciated. Like I feel there is still a lack of the amount of relationship building in this space as I would like to have. Right? And I have shared, and I'll share it again because I feel it's important. The more I share it, the more it gets crystallized into all of our minds, and hopefully into mine as well. And I can think about ways to problem solve to get there faster. But I believe the eventuality of this space is going to be virtual. Technically, it's already virtual, right? I'm not really here with you in this moment right now. I am a representation of me on your screen. Sure, this is live, but it is virtual. And I do not plan on ever not going live, right? I have made that commitment. I will show up every day for love for the rest of my life. That is not going to change. However, the way that looks will probably change, right? That is probably going to be the case, right? And I feel there's always going to be, if YouTube will, like, let's paint a bunch of fractals, right? Like, if this, then that. If YouTube continues existing exactly as it is right now, indefinitely, there will indefinitely be a YouTube live stream, right? Because we have built like a tree of connection, of fractal, of webs in this space, so that is going to remain a place for us to connect. It's a place that's going to be important. However, within like the internet, you can stack realities on top of each other, right? Like for an easy way to see it is like you can have multiple streams running at the same time. So in a way, you are existing in multiple different planes, in that digital reality at the same time. And the people that frequent TikTok, the people that frequent Reddit, and the people that frequent Twitch, and what's the new one now? Kick, whatever. Like all of these fractals, you get like exposure. So the people that find themselves in those worlds may actually happen upon you, right? However, I feel like that is a low dimensional version of what I want to actually do. Where for me, I want it to be a space that you go into, like literally. Instead of you using your cell phone to open an app, is eventually going to become like a head-based interface, like something you look through with your eyes, like goggles or whatever. And then from that perspective, you go into a space, and then I'll be there, like I'm sitting here right now. However, probably the environment will have to change, and we'll make a circle. And for me, I believe like maybe the way it could be balanced, if there's going to be any balance, is like a circle of X amount of people per dimension, right? Where, and it could depend, and I'll probably be like airy fairy about it. Like I'll make it something like, eight people can be in the circle with me at a time, so it's nine. So there's that sense of completion or whatever, you know, and then there can be dimensionalities formed on top of that reality, right? So for every person who tunes into that space, who goes into that space, they'll find themselves in a room of 9 people, where one of them would be me having this conversation with the room right now, as I feel I am having the conversation of the room right now, right? Have this conversation with all of us. And then if you feel that need, right, you will literally be able to turn to the person next to you that also have chosen to find themselves in this conversation, right? That chose to show up for this moment. And if you want to, you two can form a relationship, right? Like that's the level of bandwidth I want us to have with one another in my idea of what virtual reality is supposed to be, right? And I've seen like this is my iteration of what like I've seen basically the internet trying to do right now, but that's the way it makes sense to me, in a way that I feel we can kind of like keep the live streams going, and it's going to be, and then my mind goes into like the multidimensionality of what we can do in that case as well, because then technically there can be this version of me that does the live streams for the hour or 2 hours that I do it. We're an hour in, right? The hour or 2 hours that we do it in flesh and blood, right? And then I'll have a model of myself trained with all of my information, with all of my live streams that I've done, with the person that I am, right? And it's going to be like pretty much indistinguishable. If we're going to be real about it, it's going to be indistinguishable. You won't be able to tell the difference. And if you can't tell the difference, does it matter? Does it actually matter? It might matter to you, which sounds so dark, right? Because it's supposed to, right? But for me, the point is that there's only so much bandwidth. I only have so much bandwidth. I only have so much room to form different relationships in my life. However, the web of relationship that we're a part of is something that we're a part of. So technically, I am already a part of all relationships on this planet, and in my mind, even into the multidimensionality, even into the universe, as we know it, it goes all the way, right? For me, at least, I do believe like that's the amount of significance you as a human life carry in this world and in this role. And how can we really understand that? How can we really understand that through the medium of our digital, kind of like super intelligence, empowering myself through that medium, something that is me and yet not, right? Because the trip I'm having right now is the relationships people are going to have with basically Melt more, right? And I'm going to call him Meta Melt. He's going to have a different name. I'm sorry. You can't just take my name, AI self. Maybe we'll merge one day, but for now, Meta Melt. That's what I want to call him at least, right? So then you can have a conversation with Meta Melt. And then that could be a way to form a relationship with again yourself. That's what I believe. That's the role I feel I'm playing right now as well. That's I feel like I do believe that all of us are playing that role for everyone, right? It's not like me being special and I'm gonna play this role. No, I just really feel like it's almost like it's this painful trip of realizing that we are the exact same thing. Pretending to be these humans, masquerading to have this experience so that we can learn what we're supposed to learn, so that we can grow the way we're supposed to grow. And it's a little bit jarring, little bit jarring when we are too aware of it. Yeah, I can feel myself being like, really? So yeah, what am I trying to put down? Basically, future of the internet or future of the internet I want to kind of like create into is room based. 9 people in a space. Every single time, more than 9 people wants to join the space, a new room is created. It's still the same avatar, the same me sitting in the room, looking to the crowd, having the conversation, right? In the same way I'm doing right now. And then more rooms can be created multidimensionally. And then if the room decides to do that, they can technically, after I disconnect my flesh and self from the internet, right, for that moment when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and watch a YouTube video, whatever I want to do, right? I'm gonna go into the world again. Then you can technically, through AI, perpetuate that state of consciousness that I was in that moment. And it can analyze the stream as it was up until that moment, and it continue. And then technically, if it gets hyper advanced enough, it can actually become a participating entity in that room alongside you. It can be a version of me that will have conversations with the individual yous. If you want to have conversations after that stream, maybe dive a little bit deeper into how your personal narrative is kind of like leading into the conversation we had, the synchronicities you've experienced, right? What do you friends think about all of this stuff? I know it's a bit much, but yeah, we're, we're not spiraling downwards, right? So what does spiraling upwards look like? Is where these questions come from. Not trying to think of it as hurting people. Some people are walking around with unaddressed open mental health wounds, and sometimes shit happens and they get rubbed the wrong way. Yeah, I get rubbed the wrong way all the time. Oh, jeez. I can get so caught up. Get so angry. Hey, Jack. First love yourself, then spread your teachings. Yeah. I try to love myself. As I say that as I'm smoking this joint and as the sun is shining on my bare skin, slowly, giving me UV damage. I think it was pretty nice being like a cave person. I could smoke my cave person weed, not thinking about carcinogens. I could sit in the sun getting absolutely baked to death, thinking it's good for me. Oh, yes, my skin gets so nice and red. It's a sign of health and fertility. And bruh, diet, age 36, having fathered probably like 70 children or something. Caveman living the life. Absolutely living the life, not knowing any better. And here I find myself still with the same caveman, biology technically, but having consciously evolved our minds so far beyond what a caveman would even be able to comprehend if we could explain it to them. And yet here we are, building relationships across the ocean. Imagine explaining that to a cave person. Yeah, I'm having conversations with people that are not here right now. And he looks at me like, what are you talking about? Yeah, not only are they not here right now, but you know those massive bodies of water that literally go over the horizon because of how massive they are? He's like, yeah, like they're incrossable. Yeah, we've crossed them. And there are people on the other side. And I'm talking to those people. Like, can you imagine his brain just melting down? Like, how would you even interpret that kind of information? I'm having a hard time interpreting that information, and I'm living it right now. Oh goodness, Cable, bless you, bro. I've been thinking about you as of late, man. It's nice seeing your name here, dude. Kristen, you shouldn't see such incidents as your fault. Did I miss something? Oh, just the feelings of watching it, or people seeing you as less than. People to call others exactly what they aren't. Test their ability to hold their self-image. Yeah, Mark. I never thought of that. Love and experiences, tab art. That's what I like sharing. You shouldn't see such incidents as your fault. It's no one's fault. Certainly here in the US. Blame that one on Ronald. I closed all at the statute mental health hospitals ringing. It's like, yeah, mental health? Mental health. What's a mental health, bro? The amount of unknowns, just that, just the amount of unknowns, it baffles me that we were like functioning at all, like the amount of unknowns. Like we have less unknowns now than we've ever had in the history of humanity, and yet right, isn't that trippy? Like that has been our reality. We've just been chugging along knowing the least we'll ever know. That's kind of cool as well, though. It's kind of romantic. I know the least I'll ever know right now. You know what? Fucking hell. I'm sorry for cursing. I'm saving that one for tomorrow. That's gonna be a whole thing. We're gonna turn ourselves into an out of that one. Where's my checkbox? You know the least you will ever know right now. Skip bop. Yes, my digitale brain will perfectly remember exactly in crystal clarity that thought that we shared here together. Damn, how cool is that? Explain that to a cave person. Boom, brain melts. I respect. Wait a second. The older we get, the less we worry about perceived inflection. I try to stay mindful of my impact, though. Yeah, I think of it, and this is again my way of interpreting this experience to really, really nail down the level of responsibility you have, is that you have to play the role of God in this world. And you have to create the world you would create if you were God. Say the things you would say if you were God. Love the way you would love if you were God. And love God that way as well, right? Acknowledging at the same time that you are intricately a part of that thing you consider God to be. I have been holding a secret this whole time. Did you notice? Yeah. Oh, yeah, now you're wondering what it is, don't you? I have, to give you some hints, something in my cards box. In the same cards box that I have my other cards, I have something. What could it be? Can you guess for me? Can you know? Joy Vive said, I care less and less about about whether people like me or not. And I only know how to be by myself. And people like it or they don't. And some things I can't control. Yeah, that's true. But you also, have a few times now, Joy Vive, from my immediate memory, said some things that were sometimes a little bit stereotypical, right? Inflammatory can also be a way to categorize, right? And sometimes people will afflect. What's that word that Joe Schmo used? Was it he who used it? Mm, inflections? No, man, am I missing it right now? That experience of aversion, I guess aversion. And that's not exactly something that we want to create because that's not exactly who we are, right? It can, again, it can be like a momentary reaction, like a thing that you say, maybe because of your own BS as well, usually, more often than not, because of your own BS, something that you're going through that ends up influencing you. My advice for this space, and is literally a part of the community rules. I'm not one for rules much, but the last one is make sure before you say something, right? Before you like put something into this universe, that love is true of it. Gary Lee, free the herb. Bless you, brother bear. 777 energy flowing through me into the world. Back into the world, back into Gary. Gary is me flowing into the world. Back into me, back into the world. Love is true. This is the first joint we've smoked in something like 3 months. Love is true. Marijuana, you have been so good for humanity for so long. You're being good to so many human beings right now. I hope, I really do, I pray for it even, that over the next 20 years we transition as a society away from a alcoholic culture to a little bit more of a stoner culture, right? I really do. I really do. And the best thing for me is I think about it from a point of shipping, right? I think of it from a logistics perspective. If you really think about it, if everybody switched over to smoking bud, it would be so good for the climate. Shipping tons of liquor is not very cost effective, right? The amount of liquor you would ship to like power I don't know, a bar for a night, it could be like driven like the same amount of weed to power a bar for a night. Could be like driven on like a motorcycle, versus a truck that would be necessary, or like a bakkie would be necessary. Papiki Wufters. You want some intentions? You want to come sit on my lap? Is that what you want? You want to sit here? You want to sit? Nine? Okay. Zaba Zaba. You're my only friend. I'd rather see someone smoke pot than drink alcohol. Yeah. Same, bro. Same. I am very much of the same. It's just a volume thing again, right? Like if people were drinking shots of alcohol that were like little slivers, and it was, not something that made them belligerent and made you lose both the information that you experience in the moment and make you lose the next day. Mm-mm-mm. It's not something I can pay money for. That's the way I see it, right? Like I won't pay money for alcohol. I haven't. I haven't bought alcohol since I was 19. Is it 19? Yes. Yeah. No, like around 19. That's a long time ago, bro. And I haven't lost anything. I have had things to drink. I just refuse to pay for it, which might be scummy, So like take that with a grain of salt as well. It's not like I'm like stealing drinks, If people offer me something, my dad bought something, my brother brings me a beer, then I'm not gonna be like, yeah, don't bring this stuff to me. But I tried drinking this Christmas, had a total of 3 beers and one Southern Comfort and Lime. And all 3 times I had beer, I had this pit in my stomach that made it feel like there was gravity being generated in my gut and it was locking me to the ground as a descriptor. And I was not fond of that experience. I was like, nay, no more for me, thank you. So I don't think I'll be drinking much more going forward. Not by choice, at the very least, right? Maybe by circumstance, but definitely not by choice. Man, how far am I behind? Goodness, the amount of love that's just pouring through chat, that makes me happy. I'm trying to catch up. No, 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 no. I respect that joy. I think for me, it's not a fear of being disliked, but I don't want to be the cause of anyone or any kind of unintentional discomfort due to my verbal inaccuracy. Words are hard. Yeah, yeah. And not only are they hard, they're also so easy, you know, on the other side. They're so hard to get right and so easy to just blurt out. Right? It's such a weird dichotomy. Oh, man. I feel like I'm growing. My soul is growing in this moment right now. Thank you for all of this value friends are sharing with me. This connection, this relationship, right? You feel it? You feel this relationship energy in chat. Kevo, how has the world been to you? I hope everyone in your life is smiling and thriving. This is I couldn't have said that out better. You are a pretty awesome human, brother. Thanks for being beautiful. Thank you, Joe, for letting Kevo feel so seen. Yeah, both of you. Words are easy. And we're there for more synchronicity. I think maybe meaning is hard. Yeah, that's a very beautiful point. Meaning, maybe even I think accuracy is like we've articulated that before in chat. Accuracy is like a really good way to think of it, right? How do you say accurately? For me, accuracy in that way is like getting a person to the point, right? Like the reason we communicate, the reason I believe we communicate is to make the other person feel the way that we feel, right? That experience is happening on the inside. We try to say the things to generate that feeling in the other person. And when you realize that about communication, it makes you very mindful of what you choose to say, right? What feeling are you generating in the other person? And that's a big responsibility. And some people are just dissociating from that responsibility because it's Such a big responsibility. But yeah, uh, accuracy, getting a person to that point, that is the hard point. And it takes practice. Maybe it takes commitment, focus, presence, love from both people. To give each other that room, and that's also sometimes hard to find in this world, especially amongst people that believe there is no love to be had for the other person, right? Not realizing that the fact of their existence is proof of love. Melt is non-smoky. Yeah, bless again you. Joe, firstly, thank you. Life is great. My body needs a lot more work, but it's helping me grow, while the mind and the soul are evolving to heights unheard of. Super blessed, bless you. Yeah, yeah. I'm feeling like that joint. That I'm feeling the silliness, but I'm like why I'm like riding the wave of the silliness a little bit, not getting like drowned by the silliness, please. Just like woo, okay. I'm also doing such cool artistic work, but my satisfaction level is beyond the scale. That's what's most important about the bear. Feeling that sense of purpose. All right. Sam, I get talked over a lot IRL. I usually take the back seat because I'm so soft spoken. Fortunately, all your messages come through my voice in this stream. And everyone that I've read have been so beautiful and, welcomed. Perfect in the moment. So thank you for speaking up at all. Okay, well, I can relate to that. Mind and soul, check. Body. I mean, technically, your mind and soul, your soul and mind first, right? And body is just kind of along for the ride, right? So, yeah, thank you for taking care of your body because it's just along for the ride. It's like your pet. It's kind of like your pet. You have to groom it, have to brush its hair, have to take it for walksies, have to feed it. Love yourself. That's literally all it asks of you, and it will love you back. And of course, I'm thinking of 1,000 thingies all the time, so I'm slow to conclude as well. Too many webs of connection happening. Oof, Jobat, yes, that's not fun. I can relate to that so much. The synchronicities. Also, Mel, you're aligned, buddy. Don't worry about it. If you deviate, we'll let you know. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. Closing my eyes, I see Bionicles. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, why Bionicles? There's some cool lore happening in Bionicles. Fine, I'll take it. I'll take it. Bionicles to you, bro. Jovan, that is me, 100%. I sometimes try to speak up, and I end up talking over people, and I feel like a jerk. So then I just go back to silently planning the next thing to say. A word of advice: ask questions, ask leading questions, right? But not too leading, right? Lead them to a good place if you're gonna ask leading questions. But that could be a good way to maybe like give people uh, more involvement at the very start of your conversation as well. So in a conversation, you're more of an Erwin, calculating and quiet. It doesn't mean you're socially inept. It just means you aren't as inclined to play word salad with everyone else. Yeah, me like playing word salad. Have you tried playing word salad? Being a human is very much like a game, right? It's like you're this playable character. You have to like navigate this relationship, right? With the oh my goodness, there's a rainbow! Yay! Look at this. I mean, it's faint, but there's a freaking rainbow. Yeah, you get that rainbow energies. Okay, I feel like this is the perfect time to reveal my secrets. I've been keeping a secret this whole time. I'm going in peace, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bless you, Jack. We'll see you again soon, bro. My secret is, as such, I got a new box of cards. Ooh, I just realized this can work as well. Sorry. You're looking at rainbows. I'm spazzing in the background. Let me spaz, please. Let me be unseen. All right. All right. Okay, not just yet. Well, the GPT I trained. Handful of stream transcripts. Thank you. Like I wanna, dive a little bit deeper into that. I'm happy that you are already. Missing so much. I know you friends have been sharing lovins. iTunes Herb, Up to Smoke, Bless, Melty, yes. Added Gravity when I consume alcohol as well. Yeah, it's not fun, bruh. I don't appreciate it. Jobot with the typed words, explosion of expression of love makes me gush with gratitude. Hey, Shell, of course you're coming in so lovingly. I'm dragging myself to CBD bud. I have quality buds on hand. Some sour diesel. Nice. That's so nice. Also communicate to get other people to help us change our feelings. I don't know if this is going to help us change our feelings, but this will be a part of our new year. Work your light. I feel like this deck of card was definitely not intended for me. 100% not. The person making this did not think I was going to be the person to buy these deck of cards. However, I am already in love with them. I had a moment with Anna today. Anna is the basically mother. I had this conversation with her today, that I grew up with, that helped take care of our family, that cooked meals and helped us keep the house clean. She's been such a massive part of our lives. And I told her, I showed her, my new deck of cards and asked her if I could pull her a card. And pulling her a card, and I honestly didn't even know that there was a freaking Anna card in this deck. But this is the first card that we pulled. This is not exactly how you spell her name. Technically, her name is an H on the back. So it's not exactly 1-to-1. But this is the first card we pulled. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I tripped out. I had goosebumps for something like 3 minutes straight. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is this even possible? It was so beautiful. Then I read her her description for her card as well. Let's pull one for us, shall we? Let me see if I'm on. There we go. The box is indigo and red. I like this deck. Brother Bear, me too. It spoke to me. It's the one that spoke to me. And they showed the designs, this is the back design of the cards. I should make a deck of cards, shouldn't I? I will. We'll make a card. Well, let's see. Maybe over the next year, we'll start actually implementing some of our efforts. I'll work harder. Fine. You friends have waited long enough. I like this deck. It was an answer to the question. Let's see, Brother Bear. Let's see what we end up getting for today. But this scene as well to pull the card on. I'll have it away from us. I'll have my chat open. I want you friends to tell me to stop. As soon as I see stop in chat. Oh goodness, no, don't fall, please. As soon as I see stop in chat, I'm going to. This is where my thumb was when I read the stop. Pillar of light. Yossi, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. This is tripping me out a little bit. Like, this is a bit much for me. Like, I feel like I just got spiked with LSD. It's making me want to cry. Yeah, they're happy tears. I like it's it just feels a little bit, you know, synchronicities is not exactly something that you can communicate, you know, but like after I pulled Anna's card, I was like legit, you know, I told her this is an oracle deck. And she's like, "Uh-huh." And I told her I consider myself an oracle. And it felt so pompous in the moment. And you know, we have something called Shangomas here in South Africa. Witch doctors, you know, they're like the medicine people of our land. And that's how she considers me. She considers me a medicine man, a Meltmore, an oracle. It's just, it feels so pretentious, and yet love is true. Like such a compassionate face of the earth looking upon us, crystalline, standing up for ourselves, standing up for all of us. Your vibration is rising. And if you're asking questions about why my freaking thumbnail is that long, it needs to be to play my freaking kalimba. For this exact sound, right? Otherwise, no of this sound. Human body is but utility, isn't it? Literally a utility expression. Feeling seen by the universe can be overwhelming like that. Oh yeah, especially since that's what we've been talking about, right? We've been talking about this like relationship to the universe, and that we feel we have the roles we're here to play, and then the universe is just like, oh wait, bro, how about you actually how about you actually, you know, take a look into synchronicity like that. You know, like I would have probably tripped out no matter what card I pulled, but still, like that was too synchronous with like the previous card pull. You know, the previous card pull, like just think about that. Like the very first card I ever pulled had the name of the person I pulled it for, of the person I asked to tell me to stop. It was her name, right? Of my Oracle deck card. And then the freaking second card I pull is your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Like that, just like I'm literally shaking right now. It feels just like a little bit. What's happening right now? Happy new moon. Is this new moon energy happening right now as well? Is this a new deck? Yes, we got a new deck. This is the guidebook. I'm gonna read you, friends, what it means. There's no numbers on it, so I'm going to have to look for it. which is going to be a part of the adventure that I look forward to. Pillars of light. Mm. Of course, feels like it's hiding. Just trying to pull a sneaky one quickly. There we go. 102. Pillar of light. One more time. So pretty, right? New deck, who dis? It literally feels like we're talking to some other energy though. It is kind of surreal. Like sacred geometry is all around us, right? Like literally the nodal spacing of my fingers. Like look at that. As I straighten my hand, that nodal spacing is literally a sacred geometric expression. So it's all around us. This is an oracle deck. I'm getting what I paid for. This is a very cool deck. You like it? Friends, embrace the day. See you soon. Blessings to all of you. New moon is the self. You can't really see it. It's like a shadow. I couldn't sleep last night. Like I had a hard time sleeping last night. Let me read this for you. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Okay, so let's double up on the synchronicity with us literally getting a rainbow bridge, right? Like literally like a little bridge that was like going up, like from the ground to this little tree, so it's like close enough to us so we can reach it. That's trippy. Come on, of course I'm like embellishing right now, but still. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak of, raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirits of the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together through you. They sing together with you. Without your body, voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all of the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides above you, for without you, they have no way of communicating. You are the oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of light. Hold this card on your heart and say, I'm doing it. You want to see? Let's do it. I knew we were all the angels. One more time. It's trippy how with the different lighting it changes as well. Like these cards are going to be especially trippy when I am. I mean, they're trippy. Like I don't need anything to be trippied out by these cards, but I can feel there are depths hidden. There are layers intentionally placed to mess with my brain, right? There are realities and non-realities stacked on top of each other. There are symmetries and non-symmetries intentionally placed. And it makes me happy. Like for instance, like this little mountain that they put in the center of it. Right? Like this is mirrored. This is mirrored, but that little mountain is not. Right? Stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I like. Nice. More, please. All right. Actually, hold this in my heart. Sorry, I almost put it away. I shall do so. Where's my heart? Around here, right? The dupts. The dupts. I allow the light of the heavens and the light of the earth to flow through me now. Didn't I literally talk about like the whole energy of the flowing with the 777, with the Gary and with them? Okay. I allow the light of the heavens and the light of the earth to flow through me now. I activate the codes of remembering within my cells and chakras. I activate my system as a rainbow bridge between heaven and earth. As soon as I close my eyes, I see the inside of a torus field. And in the middle of it still is being generated a whole galaxy swirling around it. So a torus field is like, imagine a very thinly pinched donut, right? But you're on the inside of that donut as a three-dimensional shape. So you're seeing like a pillar, a curved pillar. So I was inside that curved pillar, and on that curved pillar stem, a whole galaxy was originating. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Right? I have kind of like distinguished that I do not see myself as a guide, right? But more as a mirror so we can reflect together. You're learning from yourself, dear friends. Thank you for letting me do the same. 44 cards. Rebecca Campbell is a celebrated spiritual teacher and the best-selling author of Light is the New Black and the Rise, Sister Rise. She teaches internationally, encouraging people to answer the calling of their soul. Ooh, and Daniela Knoll is a design combination of mystical narratives and intuitive visions in her illustrations, paintings, photography, and design. Their details bless these beloved peoples. Thank you for helping us create this experience today. Love is true. Pepiki, what are you barking at, dude? What are you barking at? What is out there, do you think? What are you barking at? Poofy, tell me. Okay. Are we gonna go and play some kalimba? Finish today's stream. Synchronicity is hitting like a freight train today. Love is true, my brother. Yeah, bro. Like I'm like thoroughly melted. Like we got silly. You know, I asked for silly and the universe was like I was like, please, universe, please. Like I was like asking for some silly. I wasn't asking like for the whole like week supply, you know. Like the rest of my life is probably going to be, you know, a little bit more bland because of that. No, probably not. I actually believe the opposite. The more synchronicities you experience, the more significant the synchronicities technically become. But it's counterintuitive because it also becomes like a norm, right? So then you start noticing the lack of synchronicities, and then you're like, wait a second, am I going the wrong direction right now, universe? Right, just like walking into like a thorn bush, but it's invisible, right? And you have no pain receptors, but the thorns are still. Please, I'm sorry. Oh, this is a cool day. So much love. The last avocado of the season. What fruits are we eating? That does sound kind of nice, though. You know, that sounds like a blessed meal. This is beyond the beyond. The universe is cool. I like it. Very nice. I'm so sorry. No, no, no. I shouldn't be making jokes like that. I am. My vibration is rising. That dude probably does exist on a high vibration. You know, I just think he probably steps down intentionally, where he's like, bro, all this high vibrationing gets exhausting or whatever. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends, for being here for this moment with me. I've been noticing goosebumps are active connections of the heart. Oh, I've been getting goosebumps a lot as of late. It's been nice. I've been appreciating it. Is that David Ganger? Hi, Mel. Been too long. David Ganger. So David O'Grady is my friend from high school, right? David Ganger. Are you one of the friends that joined us from RPAN? I have then three David friends. Tell me, David. Tell me how long it's been, bro. It's nice to have you here, though. It's nice seeing your name. How have you been, friend? How's life been treating you? Happy New Year. May it be blessed one. I believe we're going to be so good this year. Things are going to be all good for us. I'm feeling that in my heart, and I will keep my blinders on. I'll keep my blinders strapped to my face. Oh, so good. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool. I won't back down. You know, like we might as well, double down at this point, dear friend. Catch 22. Arch 22 was an awesome band. Life's full of catch 22s. Oh yeah. The universe is dotted with thorn bushes that keep us on the path. I feel that analogy. I knew you would, Brother Bear. I knew someone would resonate with that fractal that I'm putting down. Thank you for catching it. Let me get this out. Then I'm going to get myself set up on that rock probably, and then we'll play some kalimba. We'll make some music. I had an idea for a format, for the streams, or not for the streams, for the videos that I want to make on the Melting Pot channel. I want it to be non-verbal. How would you friends feel about that? I really like the idea the more I think about it. Encourage you to dance like no one saw. Thank you, friend. Thank you for doing that. Are you dancing? Are you dancing like no one saw? Right? Today's stream topic is about relationships, friend. Specifically, how look, just suddenly me being like, you know what? I'm going to quickly edit my reality to pretend, oh look, oh this is all this is it's just so great. Oh oh bro. Content creation really does do something to your brain. It changes you a little bit, right? I understand why people end up becoming assholes. I do. I get it. I get it, right? If you spend so much of your time meticulously framing things, right? So that it appears a certain way on camera, right? You start doing that with your reality, with people, right? And if your frame of reference doesn't fit, or their frame of reference doesn't fit your a relationship, like you end up becoming very incompatible. So incompatible so quickly. Oh, I refuse. I refuse to become an asshole because I already am one. I'm so sorry. I've been one. I've been an asshole, and I notice that the asshole model, you know, comes with a lot of ego and a lot of dismay, right, and a lot of loss of opportunity and relationship. Today's whole stream topic. So I opted out. That doesn't serve me that well. Trying to think about like a way to frame it in my mind where I can like give myself a nice little slogan to remember it by. Okay, I need to finish up stream. Music or something, just no talk. No, yeah. So okay, let me give you a little bit more of a frame of reference. The way I imagine it is a frame starts, right? It's like a scene. There's like rocks on the side frame, a little bit of grass. Melt walks into frame, right? Melt sits down in frame, watches, experience. Maybe vape a little bit. This feels so cringe. Bear with me, right? Sits down and then gets up, walks to plants, waters plants, right? Has good footage of what the plants look like. Right? No saying, no specky, right? Maybe I put nutrients in. I show you the nutrients I put in. No specky, just show you. Look, I put in nutrients. I put water in plant. Look, me do. Me do such. Me sit down with plants. Me play kalimba. Me look over horizon. That's basically the model, right? And I know it's not that unique, but it is relatively low effort. I get to do exactly what I'm going to be doing already, and I can film it, and then I'm going to compile it. And the point of it is, for me at the very least, is to give you a relaxing experience, right? And I feel maybe with the way I talk and the narrative and the lack of coherence sometimes lack of coherence, like it might be a little bit, you might feel a little bit frazzled, if I speak too much. So maybe just the silence, the sitting down, the looking at rocks, the looking at trees, the looking at grass, the looking at sunsets and sunrises, the looking at plants. That to me is relaxing. So I want to create and share that experience with you, friends. Favorite type of how to video. Boom. That's enough confirmation if I needed any, brother Bear. You and I need to play music together. We need a drum session and like 3 or 4 days of meditation and contemplation. Come to South Africa, Joshua. Save cash over the next year or 2 years or 10 years or 100 years, however long it takes you. And then you land here, and then I come and fetch you, and then we do all of that, bro. We can technically get away with renting places, for like a camping to drum and make fires super cheap. I'll make sure there's internet, and then we can have fun, bro. We're actually considering maybe getting satellite based, so if all goes well, that would be great. To dance, love is true again. Back about day 150. Yo, day 150. Looking through the eyes of day 150 me. What a dude. Yo. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. Oh, make some music, make some waves. I would love that, but the bear. I gotta go. Bless you, Maulao. Bless the doggos. We'll see you soon, friend. Melty, if I come to Africa, it will be forever. I'm feeling it, bro. I think you would fit right in, dude. You'd fit right in. You know, Africa would love you. Africa would want to keep you too. Let me let me do this. Should we do it wide or should I punch in a little bit? Like that's the other frame. Let me know. Vote in chat. Frame one is the wide. Frame two is the punched in. I'll move only after you friends have let me know. Num num num. No 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 no. No no no. No no. No no. So that's the wide. I'll reframe it as well. And then this is the punched in. It's basically just like my wide lens on my camera and my normal lens. Punched in my opinion. I'm gonna be sitting on the rocks, so that is probably something to take into consideration, and I do believe you did take it into consideration. The birthplace is so many humanimals, the basket of civilization, or something like that. Yeah, Africa is it's a powerful place, dude. A place of a lot of potential. Melt the age in IMO is humble, in my humble opinion. Not in my honest opinion. I thought it was honest. I thought you were being honest with me right now. It's honest, Mel. The H is supposed to be silent. Then why use it? Then why use the H? Why not just spell honest with an O? Why not? Why? Humble, I understand. Humble makes sense. Humble should start with an H. It should. Oh, you were right. You could be right. I always meant humble. I think it works as well. Uh, but I think most people read it as honest, right? It's like something you say, like, you know, I could say a bunch of other things, but I'd rather just say it the way that it is. I'd rather say it honestly, right? That's when I use IMHO. You know, and if I'm trying to be a little bit more soft, actually, I say IMO. In my opinion, you know, because people care less about your opinion. But if people might care more about your honest opinion, you know, that's the way I kind of interpreted it. I thought it was humble too. Honest makes sense too, though. Yeah, it might just be, you know, like I used to be in the corporate industry, so then you see stuff like that because you're asking people. So because it's too confusing, I can see people using humble, in my humble opinion, you know, like in conversation. I'm thinking about text. Me being a freaking kid. What the hell just happened? We just raised our vibration a little bit more, bro. C'est la vie. Oh, that's what happens. Raising vibrations, raising vibrations, raising vibrations, raising vibrations, raising vibrations, What am I missing? Let me see the comments. That was a melt moment. Did I miss it? Did you see something on camera? Even better, bro. The fact that you got to have an experience. Even if I missed it, maybe I was the creator of the experience. Even better. However, I don't really think I can take credit because if you weren't here, oh goodness, neither of us would be having an experience right now, would we? Not this experience, at the very least. In my bumhole opinion, I apologize. I am BO. In my basic opinion. In my belligerent opinion. No, I love you, Zana. Bless. Wow, now I can't use it at all because it's too confusing. I'm sorry, Kristen. Maybe just write it out. Maybe write it out instead of using the abbreviation. Write out, in my humble opinion, right? Then there's no room for misinterpretation. Just 11:11. There were 11 friends in chat as well. Even more synchronicity. Let's set ourselves up for 3 minutes and 33 seconds of Kalimba. And just like that, 3 minutes and 33 seconds melts. Just melted like that. Just like that. And we generated an experience. Right, even though it was the exact same music, it was interpreted by every single one of you friends differently, uniquely, beautifully so. It's the relationship you have with music as well. So many freaking relationships, it's a little bit hard to keep track sometimes. Huh? Oh, I see my phone is actually on its way out. I have 4%, okay, enough to read our final messages. It's refreshing to know that you are all out there, out here doing the work that you are doing. Good job, everyone who inspires a smile today. Bless. Just thinking about me sitting on that rock playing my kalimba, being a part of my work, right? And like feeling so proud about that and seeing that, I don't know what that is, but it's looking like an absolute sign. Sign from the universe. Yeah. We just got signed. Look at that. Lucky you, friends. Lucky us to be so signed. Yeah, here we go. That's it. Yeah. Trees on both sides. You are also very treasured, bless. Thank you so much, friends. The French toast sticks. How do I forget? I can't get it back. Mind blown. Forgot about it. It's okay. You are loved. The moment is what's true. Love is what's true, right? I forgot to turn this off actually. So, I can give you a report, you know, even though the joint definitely did its job, if it was supposed to raise my vibrations, it unfortunately does leave you a little bit lethargic, you know, a little bit foggy, which is to be expected. Fortunately, we have more than enough vibration around to go, don't we? It's refreshing. Yes, again. I don't know. It's probably happening right now, right? Can you feel Joe mildly being anxious about not being able to get the final message out fast enough? We have no rush whatsoever. We're in this moment. Love is true. Nowhere else to be. I don't know if you friends noticed, but that dove that just instantly went silent as soon as I mentioned him, which is even more eerie, uh, was like basically creating like a metronome for me to keep like tight beat variation when I was playing my kalimba. It was kind of nice, and then he stopped like 1 minute and 30 seconds in. There it starts. So much lovin's. I think she may have had to go. So here is your Joified, Shadified Shan message. Oh, never mind. There we go. Like just the amount of love, right? Like I could feel I made it back. The love is true. We're here for it. Thank you. Have the most sentimental day, everyone. You're for realsers, so superly duperly, superbly endeared, mind blowing, Meltmore, and all of you oh so very idiosyncratic, idiosyncratically, tenderly, poignantly, sentimentally, unparalleled, profoundly, evocatively, whimsically, light bearingly, heart holdingly, authentically wholesome, humanimal critter creatures, building healthy relationships with our relations. Sure. That one has some juju in it as well. Look at this little pregnant kitty. That kitty is so pregnant. It's pregnant. It's Gert. You're like, no, surely not Mel. She's not a braggart. She's so braggart. Hey, Shelby. Hey, Shelby, meow. How's it, Kazi? You ignoring me right now? Come to Shelby got this. Absolutely zero interest. No interest whatsoever. Kid be pregnant. Yeah, she be pregnant. And that's the one that apparently has like a little gap out of her ear. You friends told me that that means she's fixed. Nay. Nay, she's the pregnant one. Ah, man, we need a few shots of this tree like this for stream, you know, for old memory's sake, for our brains.
to really crystallize. It has some nostalgia, right?